This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the committee tasked with settling debts of citizens in Sharjah has announced that it had allocated over 46.7 million dirhams to pay debts of people convicted in financial cases and other debt defaulters. The funds will cover the costs of the 11th batch of 77 people and follows the directives of His Highness Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, Supreme Council member and ruler of Sharjah, to ensure a decent life for Emirati citizens. The chief of the Emiri court and head of the committee said that so far it had disbursed over 269.5 million dirhams to 647 beneficiaries. The 13th edition of the Dubai International Motor Show has opened today, playing host to multiple regional car launches of top manufacturers and dealers, while also showcasing a number of new models revealed to the world for the first time. At the opening day of the 5-day biennial Dubai International Motor Show being organized at the Dubai World Trade Center, a number of car manufacturers and dealers unveiled their latest car models exclusively in Dubai. Commenting on the latest edition of the motor show, the official organizers stated that Dubai sits at the top of the world's automotive calendar, and the presence of so many car manufacturers and dealers from around the world clearly highlights the importance of Dubai as a key market. Among a few grand launch ceremonies organized at the show was Jaguar's new F-Pace, offering a breakthrough CX-17 concept car, while also featuring lightweight aluminum architecture. Commenting on their new offering, representatives of Jaguar stated that as a luxury car brand with years of manufacturing legacy behind it, this time around their exciting new lineup showcases their best design and performance credentials.
Well, we're really excited for the 13th edition. It's our biggest edition to date, over 30% bigger than the last show in 2013, which is a fantastic show. It's come, in a year in planning. We've engaged with the major manufacturers. We're delighted to say that all of those are on the show floor today, and you're right, they're showing some fantastic and new inspirational technology. If we look at what the likes of Audi are doing with their parking, there's some new certain technologies from the likes of Hyundai. Of course, the green credentials and sustainability aspects has come really to the core of the show this year. So we're really excited. It's day one, it's press day, it's exciting, there's lots of energy. So yes, the next 4 days, as we say, will be motoring madness.
Jaguar has a tremendous amount of brand loyalty, first of all. Secondly, the cars incorporate British iconic design, great engineering and some technical innovation. And I think when we design vehicles, we look at what the customer wants, but at the same time we bring all of that together and we create highly desirable products that people become extremely passionate about. We are competitive with a lot of the products in the sectors in which we operate, and I'd like to think now that Jaguar has actually come onto the shopping list of a large number of consumers, where previously it hasn't necessarily been the case.
Also revealing their new model, the 4th generation Toyota Prius hybrid, to regional car enthusiasts during the show, representatives of Al Futtaim Motors stated that they are working very closely with the UAE government to meet their objectives of a greener and pollution-free environment by reducing pollution from transport. While talking about the luxury car market in the UAE, the representatives of Altair Motors stated that Dubai has always been a major hub for luxury and high-end car dealers and manufacturers around the world. And this year, too, the motor show will reflect that mood. Visitors to the show can expect to see 157 new models making their global and regional debut in Dubai, while also featuring more than 600 cars, including 16 concept cars.
People have started to realize the benefits of hybrid, which basically means two sources of power, one from the petrol engine, one from the batteries and the electric motors that the car carries. And the clever thing is the way that the vehicle manages which power source to use, or in fact both of them. And that really aids the drive towards a more sustainable future and lower emissions. The new Prius 4th generation, the one we're featuring here today, has got an 18% increase in kind of lowering emissions for the future. So it's a big step. It's a small step in some relations because the volume, in the business, but we'll see it growing. I think you'll see government authorities and more people getting interested in what hybrid technology can offer for the environment. Now, we're trying to support, obviously through Al Futtaim Motors, Toyota's goal of by 2050 not having petrol or diesel engines in the fleet. So you're going to see really hybrid technology being the first step towards the ultimate step, which is zero-emission vehicles powered by hydrogen, which is a future vision, something that the UAE loves to adopt, future visions.
Nowadays, it's not like before. The minute that the car launched in Europe or launched in the mother country in Italy, we receive it here. Dubai is very, very important market for Ferrari SPA. And we are, as Altair, we represent Ferrari in the UAE, and we have a great weightage of presence in the UAE with the brand. So we are always developing ourselves to match the brand growth in the UAE and worldwide also.
Governments in the MENA region should increase funding towards education to improve the Arab world's contribution toward global research and curb mass immigration of intellectual talent. That's according to education experts speaking at the MENA Higher Education Leadership Forum. While addressing a gathering of more than 200 senior leaders of educational institutions at the two-day forum, the Secretary General of the Association of Arab Universities, Professor Sultan Abu Arabi, stated that with a population of more than 400 million people, the region only contributes 0.3% towards global scientific research. Held under the theme towards transformative higher education in the MENA region, experts called for a reform in the learning experience of students in the region. Retaining talent and culture of quality assurance was in top focus during the discussions, where Professor Sultan stated that around 54% of students study outside of the region with little intention of returning. With only a few Arab universities among the top 500 in the world, Professor Sultan stated that both public and private sector have to increase funding to improve education standards before more scientists choose to migrate to other parts of the world where education has no borders.
I think investment and finance research in the Arab country is not as good compared to the industrialized or the Western countries. We are investing less than 0.5% of our GDP for research, whereas in the developed countries or the industrialized countries, this can reach even 5% of their GDP. This is one figure. The second figure really, which is good to our research, is the number of researchers in the Arab countries. This number is almost like 500 researchers per 1 million inhabitants. Whereas if we look at Korea or even Singapore or Finland or America, the number could reach 7,000 researchers per million inhabitants. Science and technology should not have borders. Nowadays, our universities in the region, they are not as good as the American universities or not as good the European universities, or not even compared to Singapore or Korea. Those two countries 30 years ago, they were just like Egypt or Syria or Jordan. Nowadays, they are improving. The level of education in those countries is so high. Why don't we push education in our region to the best what we want? I think this needs vision from our stakeholders, from our decision makers, and also we need more money to put for research and for higher and better quality of teaching in our region.
In response to the alarming statistics, Professor Mohammed Zairi, the chairman of European Center for Best Practice Management, added that universities should adapt a digital ecosystem. According to Professor Zairi, customized knowledge solutions through the use of technologies should re-engineer higher education. It was added that universities must shed their old image as ivory towers and become innovative enterprises.
I think the type of learner that we have today, Generation Z, and there is a future generation called the Generation Alpha, who are really digital natives, and they use learning as part of their social interests. They use it to learn from their peer groups. They use the tool to learn collaboratively, through groups, and there are virtual communities of learners, for example, and they conquer the world with the smart devices. So it will be a fallacy to suggest that we can preserve the brick and mortar traditional model of delivery, because it's far away from what a knowledge-based economy requires. And also, the asset base of a modern university is no longer the physical asset.
Abu Dhabi Traffic Police will start imposing new speed limits next Sunday on one of the 10 most dangerous roads in the Emirate. According to a statement from the police, the new speed limit will be imposed on the Abu Dhabi-Al Ghuwaifat Road, which research has shown to be one of the 10 most dangerous roads in the Emirate. According to the research, this is due to the lack of lighting on the road, which increases risk of road accidents, especially for speeding motorists. This will be 3 different speed limits for 3 stages of the road from Abu Dhabi to Al Ghuwaifat. The first stage starts from Al Dhafra Bridge to Baynuna Forests. The speed limit for this stage is set at 100 kilometers per hour. And the speed at which the radar will flash will be 121 kilometers per hour. The second stage starts from Baynuna Forest to Baraka, for which the speed limit will be 120 kilometers per hour, with the speed at which the radar will catch drivers will be 141 kilometers per hour. The third stage is from Baraka to Al Ghuwaifat, for which the speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour, and the speed for finding motorists will be 121 kilometers per hour. The traffic police have also imposed a maximum speed limit for heavy trucks at 80 kilometers per hour and 100 kilometers per hour for passenger buses on all 3 stages. A total of 628 hotels and 487 dental clinics were inspected by Dubai municipality following a drive launched last month in a bid to ensure the safety of water. According to a local report, the inspection team collected samples from the swimming pools, water-cooled air conditioning systems, and water tanks, which were sent to labs to ensure they did not contain harmful substances. The inspections also ensured that health clubs, spas, and beauty salons at the hotels are properly licensed and comply with the health and safety requirements. The report quoted the head of the Health Control Department at Dubai Municipality, stating that they also launched a campaign at workers' compounds across the Emirate to ensure their compliance with health and living condition regulations. Last month alone, 100 of these compounds were slapped with fines totaling 328,000 dirhams for lack of hygiene and maintenance, as well as overcrowding. 123 hair salons in Dubai and Dirham were also fined a total of 109,000 dirhams last month for their non-compliance with health standards. A survey to measure the levels of reading among Sharjah citizens has been conducted by Knowledge Without Borders, a Sharjah-based project which gives free books to nationals. The aim of the survey was to determine how much people benefited from the home library donated to them by KWB by establishing the percentage of readers in the Emirate. The survey found that those who received a KWB library spent 61% of their free time reading. 60% believed that reading had a strong influence on them, while only 36% believed the effect of reading is little. The survey also found that 64% read occasionally, 18% read regularly, and 17% did not read at all, with 11% of those who do not read citing lack of time as a reason, and only 4% said they were unwilling to read. However, 43% of those who did not receive the libraries never read. 48% of them read sporadically, and only 8% read regularly. According to the survey, more men read than women, 59% compared to 53%. The study also discovered that the importance of reading increases between the ages of 18 and 39, while interest in reading declines among people aged 50 years and above. And finally, in the bulletin, the legacy of renowned Egyptian actor Omar Sharif will be celebrated at the 12th edition of the Dubai International Film Festival this December through the world premiere screening of his last film, 1001 Inventions and the World of Ibn al-Haytham, which will form the final part of the 15-strong lineup of films in the Moher Gulf Shorts category at the festival. The UK and UAE co-produced film focuses on the scientific journey of 11th century Arab polymath and philosopher Ibn al-Haytham. It follows his journey to discover the nature of light and vision, which helped set the foundation for modern science and named him the father of experimental physics, modern optics, and scientific methodology, as well as the grandfather of the camera obscura, the device that forms the basis of photography and cinematography. According to the producers, the story was close to Omar Sharif's heart, since he had studied physics before starting his film career. According to DIFF officials, the festival had awarded Omar Sharif with the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award during the first edition 2004. And they are honoring his last film in the Moher Gulf short film category this year, ensuring that it will showcase great talent from across the region and to the wider cinematic world.